All right, so we're heading to the Notre Dame de Paris, but first we are going to be walking by one of the most, I guess you could say, magistral. It's rather majestic architecturally. It is, there are no gargoyles. Are there gargoyles? It's not Gothic on the exterior. The exterior, well, what I'm learning also is that sometimes, obviously, you have mixed styles, mixed architectural styles, and sometimes the exterior could be one thing while the interior is another. I'm looking at the exterior for Gothic features. Those are not gargoyles. So I would say that this is Gothic externally. It's clearly classical Roman architecture, maybe Greco-Roman architecture, because you have those columns. Let me see. The columns at the top are Ionic, of the Ionic order, and below I would say they're more Corinthians. Although typically the Corinthian columns at the top are sort of decorated with fruits, which I don't see here, but still, it's definitely classical Roman architecture. I think it's the biggest Paris, or the second biggest. Some say the Notre Dame is the biggest church in Paris. I don't know. This is a massive church, Saint Sulpice. Quite a tourist attraction, and many activities take place here, including like First Communion ceremonies for French kids, and classical musical concert, classical music, etc. So yeah. Let's go inside Saint Sulpice just for a minute and just to get an interior shot. Merci, madame, monsieur. Merci.
But because he's in church, he can't pay directly what he wants to say. So he's going to go there. So we have to decide for it. We decide to give the three foods. We also need some pieces of information about what's going on. So that's why the first thing is you're going to sit down and put the color sheet forward.
These churches are so beautiful. I mean, what did people think of? What is the interior? Architecturally, these ceilings are very, very high. I don't see Gothic. Ah, these are Corinthian columns. These are pure Corinthian columns right here. The organ is, I'm sure, older than my grandparents. Just gorgeous. Look at that. The ceilings are very high, but I don't think these are in the Gothic style. I don't know. I think neoclassical. Don't tell anybody I said that. I have no idea what it is. But there are some Gothic features in this church. I just don't see it. I mean, look at the stained glass. This is not Gothic. That's not the Gothic style. I don't think so. What do you think? Do you agree with me? I know there's supposed to be some Gothic features in Saint Sulpice, but I don't know that I've seen any so far. Look at the arches. All of these arches are Roman. They're round. They're not in a V shape like the the Gothic style. But this church is from the 17th century. So, I don't know. The 17th century is Baroque and things like that, but this is not Baroque in my opinion, because it's not necessarily a heavily decorated church. I mean, it's decorated, but not heavily decorated. This might be somewhat Gothic. This is the area above the altar. Is somewhat Gothic. Maybe, right? Maybe. Lots of important sculptures and paintings by, I think, Delacroix are in this church as well. So it's very impressive. It's a very impressive. I mean, when you think that men, let's be clear, men did this. Women didn't do this. Men did this in the 16th and 17th century without any modern architecture. And when you consider that today, men can't do this. They don't have the blueprints. They don't have the engineering savoir-faire to do it. So what does that mean? Were these men from before more intelligent? Were they stronger? How did they do this? How did they do this? What kind of cranes did they need to get up there? But it's not just the construction, it's the type of construction. It's the detail of the construction. I mean, you want to talk about architecture. Okay, you can draw whatever you want on a piece of paper. I mean, with all due respect, right? The architecture is important, but the construction, who does this? And there are so many in this city, in the country, in the whole country. But in Paris alone, there's so many of these mammoth pieces of architectural construction. And I'm amazed. I am amazed. I'm not going to lie. I am impressed by this. For this, I can respect men. For this, I can respect them. Many things I can't. There are many things I cannot respect. I respect this. Oh my God. That's so sweet. I want to play. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oui, c'est très important.
C'est très, très gentil, madame. Je vous remercie
Voilà.
et je vous souhaite une très bonne journée.
Allez, bon voyage. Bonne visite.
Merci. How sweet is that? Sometimes people are so sweet, you know. It just takes your heart and just breaks it in a million pieces. You know what I mean? Okay, well, let's try to get to the Saint Sulpice before I use up all my footage on my camera. And I cannot videotape anything else.